Riko's Way, episode 13. This is part one of how Riko did it. Welcome back, and there can't be a greater time than now to share with you of how to survive through a hard period. You know, it's March 2020. We're right in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. So what a better time to film YouTube videos and, look back on life. And I'm sure we're all doing the same. I hope you're all safe. I wish you the best for everybody. But let's get to it. My main idea for doing this, how Riko did it, is to be an open book, to share with you that, so you can see and you can relate with me, but also so you can see that what I'm trying to tell you or sell to you is not BS. So let's start. I was raised in a home with two parents, two loving, caring parents. They would raise me with more lessons than the school could ever teach me. But being a teenager, I was a little shit. I was never a very good kid. I'll be honest. But one thing that my mother always told me, and that stuck with me throughout the years, is that, whenever I would come back from detention or have a bad report card or something negative going on in my life, she would sit me down and she would tell me is that, mijo, we have lived our life, talking about my parents. So if we die today or tomorrow, we've lived a full life. We've done it. We've come to this country as immigrants and we've gotten to this point. But for you, you have your whole future ahead of you. And what you're doing right now is putting your whole future at risk. And she would say this to me time and time again. But it's one thing that holds true. And I remember it till today. So how did it all start for me? Well, I started in public school for kindergarten. And then I went to private school all the way to 6th grade. And then I went to public school for junior high. Even for my private school entrance high school exam, I flunked it on purpose just so I wouldn't have to go back to private. And for my freshman year in high school, I went back to public school. For my sophomore year, I went back to private school. But with my attitude and always being in detention, they kicked me out at the end of the year. I couldn't go back. So back to public school for junior year. You see the trend? You see where this is going? Eventually, I started to mature by my junior year, and I started going to my local city college in the summer and at night during the school year. So my sister gave me advice that, you know what, you're doing good at city college. I think you're ready to go to college. Get out of high school, you're not going anywhere. So I took my CHSPE. And what that is for people who are under 18. It's just like a GED. So I was able to get out of high school. So junior year was my last year. I didn't walk. There was no grad night, no celebration, and no, high school diploma. So I went into city college, with lots of motivation, a lot of desire. The whole outlook for me was to become an engineer. So I started taking my math courses, everything related with engineering. But I fell back into the trap of just hanging out and not going to class. This is youth. We start on the right path. We're told what to do. We listen, and then we veer off. So I would be stuck at my local city college for 4 years. Finally getting serious and having a major change from business with a focus in marketing, I transferred to my local Cal State Hayward University. And once again, with lots of motivation, lots of goals, I'm going to do this. I've been 4 years at my city. Let's just do 2 more years at my state college. Nope. I spent 4 more years. I fell flat again. The drive and the desire went away. I would just sit alone in the cafeteria, the library, and just burn time, just wasting time. That's all I was doing. I was just wasting time. I don't know if I was just following orders, doing what I'm supposed to do. Eventually, I got kicked out of my state college because of my low GPA. I think it was around 1.4. And they sent me the letter that, yeah, you can't come back. And so that would mark the end of my college career. With 10 classes short, I never did return back to college. So I do not have a college degree. So how does this picture look? It's pretty bad, right? Not something you would see in the timeline that someone's that successful, a business owner, has done many things at my age of 41. You know, with a brother and sister that both went to Cal Berkeley, one of the most famous universities in the world, you know, my educational journey is nothing to hang on my walls, even to brag about in a positive way. You know, growing up, I heard it all. You know, you're going to end up in jail, you're going to be a dishwasher, you know, you're in a gang, you got a dead-end life. And it hurts even more when that's coming from your family. I played both sides of the tracks throughout my childhood and my teenage life. I was on both sides. I saw the darkness with my own eyes. So when I would hear those negative things coming to me, part of me would say, you know what? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm living that lifestyle. You know, you got one foot in and one foot out. To be truthful, to raise a child is hell, or even to raise me. This is one of the reasons that has kept me from having a kid all these years. I would never have to raise someone like me. I mean, someone that was given everything and still screw up, that would make me want to give up on the child. But as a kid, there's no way as a child I could think what I see now. As a child, all I saw was the current day, the weekend coming. You know, what am I going to watch? What TV show or what cartoon am I going to watch at night? Who I'm going to hang out with? What date I'm going to go on? You know, we're not thinking about the future. You know, when I grew up, I had daddy issues. I had a strict mother. I had a strict father. So, you know, I grew up with a lot of anxiety. I had self-esteem issues. You could say a lot of that clouded my youth. Maybe, but at that time, all that was going on. But school performance, or how we act outside the house, when your parents aren't around, when no one's watching, that's not your complete story. We are very complex. You are complex. You know, how the hell did I go through all this and I didn't fall through the cracks? Trust me, tons of times I should have fell through the cracks, but how come I didn't? So in the next video, I'm going to share with you where the real knowledge came from that made me who I am today, how I climbed myself out of this clouded youth, and how my relationship with my parents changed. So stay tuned for the second part of this series of how Riko did it. Peace. Stay safe.